Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Gray Bears. My name's Wayne, and to my left on the screen that I'm looking at, my good friend Bug. Good morning, Bug.
Good morning, Wayne. Happy
Oh,
fast
geez.
forward day.
Yeah, it's daylight savings time. I didn't even know.
Nobody
Uh,
told me.
I, I asked a question, and I swear we were thinking next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. It had me all messed up. I got to the coffee maker, and I'm like, it says it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. It ain't, but it was 7. I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, it's like, why am I up so early?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. My biological clock was like something is lying to you. Couldn't figure it out what it was. And then my
yeah,
microwave
here
told
you're
me the truth.
thinking that I'm waking up, my alarm went off, it changes automatically. So
Hmm. That's a
it's
darn shame.
it's beeping at what it thinks to be 6:30, where my body's thinking 5:30. Not a big
Right.
deal because I usually get up at 4:30 during the week. So, it's not a huge infraction.
Yeah. Well, my beloved cats went down to the Gators.
The Gators, yeah.
So I gotta
Uh,
deal with all the implications of that this week coming up.
Yesterday,
You
yeah,
know,
it was. Yeah, that's always a good time, though, if you ask me, I think. So,
yeah, it's fun. That's the design of sports right there. You know, you
yeah.
get to rib your buddies about the team that they have lifted up when they go down.
Well, well, we could talk about that and my feelings about how people get so uh, ate up, if you will, dedicated to their team that one, he never even went to school there. He is from there. The friend we were taught, one of our friends, that his team lost, and he was just
Yeah.
old KB is he was
KB.
yeah,
I
because
know
he listens to our show. He doesn't really watch us. He listens to it on his drive home, but
hmm
home or two or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get it. I don't like when my teams lose either, but I'm not one to he wears his little Kentucky outfit. He's got all his you know whatever. I'm like,
Kentucky seats on this in this car.
yeah, the seat
Where's
cover that
Kentucky
kills me.
blue?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even look like the right color. It is what it is, right?
Don't tell. Oh,
Yeah,
funny.
but
Yeah,
spring
man.
spring is in the air around here. Yesterday, the temperature was like 80 degrees. My arm, I got little T-Rex arms today. My arms are sore from pressure washing the house.
Yeah.
And
Tell
I
me,
didn't
Quinn.
do, I didn't have to do all of it. I did you know, the the one side that doesn't get a lot of sun on the trailer. So
hmm
it was quite
You're
tasking.
lucky you didn't blow some of the siding off the trailer. Maybe they've
Yeah,
been, you
well,
know.
I don't have that good of a pressure washer being poor
Oh,
home.
okay. Yeah. Got you. But yeah, man. So yeah, I've inhaled a lot of baby plants and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, I
AKA
imagine,
pollen.
I was gonna say yeah, that's coming. I didn't even think about that. My allergy
Hmm.
had me all
I
stuffed up.
put new blades on my lawnmower yesterday when I did a couple yards. I'm
And
feeling it today. Yep, that
ain't
weed
yeah,
is heavy.
yeah, ain't nothing like a couple of feel good. Put on a
Yeah.
set of feel goods and cutting them weeds down real quick.
hmm Speaking of feel good, I'm supposed to do a collaboration with my ex lawn partner, but something came up and we couldn't do it. So he he took another route and called. He sent me a text message, so I called him. I was like, "You good?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, we can talk about him. He don't watch the show anyways.
Somebody will tell him. I don't. Not me or
Well,
you, but a watcher will tell him.
yeah. Gee, I
But we're
wonder
gonna
who
give him some
that'll
stuff
be.
anyway. We're gonna ask him like, "Hey man, why were you a no-show? You're always talking about me. Yeah, shut up. You always saying you're gonna do stuff, but then you don't do it." I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
buddy. Same to you. Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Had me out there
Well,
waiting.
well, the thing is, I think it's, I mean, you're not as I'm telling you, I was out there for a couple hours, and I'll tell you what, that about drained me.
Hmm.
It and it wasn't like it was hot or anything. It was just,
It was. It was. Comparatively speaking, it was hot. It was hot.
yeah.
But the thing about it, the key, in my opinion, is just take your time. I'm not out there speed doing yards, you know. I
Oh
have a
yeah.
rhythm, I have a method, and I just take my time.
Well,
You know, I'm not,
especially when you haven't done it for a while, right? And
yeah,
we
5 months.
we have to recover
Hmm.
anymore. At
Yeah, I'm
least I do.
recovering
I
as
don't
we
know
speak.
about you.
Yeah, my back hurt, my legs hurt, everything hurts right now.
Yeah. You said you had something to
Yeah,
do today, so and that's the thing,
yeah, I got a little something to do, but I'm still gonna play some Call of Duty regardless. That's my,
I did get a couple games in yesterday,
yeah.
couple runs.
Hmm.
About it usually takes about 30 minutes. Didn't get no chicken dinner, if you will, but coming third and second. But we were coming in, they deploy us in shorthanded, man. I was like only three in a team. And then
Yeah,
one guy, we
yeah.
had one time, we had four people and they're all gung ho to go in and get, man, then he quit. He was like, I'm out. I'm like, we
You
still
guys are
ended up finishing.
not doing it
Me
the
and
way
another
we
guy,
should be doing.
yeah, me and another guy, there's just two of us at the end there. And he ended up finishing pretty close to, I think we were
Yeah.
second or third then too. Just the
You
two
guys
of us.
notice that Wayne is looking younger today? Look at him.
Do I look
When I
younger?
saw, yeah, you look younger, dude. You look like
Well, it
you'd be
was the weekend, so I have to shower, so maybe I just cleaned up better.
like a light-skinned rapper or something
Mm.
from down
Yeah.
south.
I got a new hat, Vice Grip
Yeah.
Garage hat. Um,
All you need is a gold chain, bro. You'll be in. Maybe a silver one. Someone rocking that. Yeah,
I
you
got a
look
new
younger,
shirt
bro.
on too. It says Feller.
Feller.
What's up, fella?
Hmm. Hmm. A feller. I'm thinking like a chopper down of trees.
Yeah, well, I've done
That's what
that
I'm
too.
kind of okay. Tracking.
No, it's kind
So
of
the
a.
elephant, you ready to dress this big old
I don't
giant
really.
pink
I'll tell you
elephant?
what. I don't want to talk about. Well, we'll
You
talk
got
about.
look at the background that you got. You got the
Yeah, I know.
darn rich guys at night. Rich guys at
Yeah,
night.
I don't
Oh,
want them
oh.
to put boots on the ground. That's the biggest thing with this. I don't want. I don't want.
Boots
I
on the
don't want.
ground.
I don't want to
Do
put
the
boots on the ground.
civilian populace even know what that mean? Boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Boots on
Well,
the ground. Boots on the ground.
well, this is supposed to
Sound like a
be
dance.
a force them to come to the table and negotiate this regime that they have, and give the oppressed the opportunity to make a better life for themselves.
Hmm.
They
Yeah,
32,000
yeah,
I think they've killed on of their own citizens,
yeah.
something like that. I may be off a number. Someone correct me down in the old comments.
Hmm.
But yeah, the but before we really talk about the elephant, is like, have you noticed the fuel prices going up?
I saw I heard it somewhere, but the gas in Atlanta, Georgia went up 43 cents
Well,
over the weekend.
just around here, it's gone up to um, I think it. I mean, I was getting it. We were in here in South Carolina. We were getting it pretty close to. Was around 240 to 230 a gallon for gasoline, right?
Yeah, it's $3 and something. It's over $3. Well, the place I stopped at was $3, over $3.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
mean,
darn
why?
lot.
I mean, why did the gas go up so much? And everybody goes, oh, because of this whole thing going on. And I can understand that to a certain extent, but a lot of our oil, we get 4% from, I haven't verified these numbers or whatever. I'm just saying what I've heard
Right.
that we
Mm-hmm.
get 4% of our oil from Saudi Arabia.
Hmm.
4%. That's
Right.
like a, you know, a gallon, really.
Right.
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 It's just I mean, a drop in the big bucket, if you will, 4%.
Hmm. Right.
Would it, but I believe they're doing this out of greed, um, fleecing of Americans as usual.
Who is the they? You're talking about Amoco,
Yeah, the
Texaco, uh,
whatever,
what?
whoever controls the oil in this country, right? Whatever, you
Okay.
pick a company, right? There's, several of them, but
The United
yeah,
Oil Corporation is like, hey, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
We
It's just that that's everybody, and I'm not advocating for the government interference in the free market, right? And by no means am I advocating it, but it's just um, the left will use this, to boost their position on whatever, anything
Mhm.
to be an obstructionist in the works of this great nation, because they
Right.
want
Oh
their
yeah.
they want to be their socialist, they want this country to be a socialist run government, everything, right?
Yeah. Anything that negative is going to happen, the opposition is going to complain about it. That's just natural.
Sure,
You're just
yeah,
like a dog
yeah,
chasing a cat. You
yeah.
know, they're
Well,
going to
they
be like,
feel
yo.
they're just in their cause. I get it,
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
And I say the
So yeah.
left that, and it is on the right as well. There's a lot of
Mhm. Yeah.
people
They
on
gonna
left or
complain.
the right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Left, right, center. So okay. So you think that this fluctuation in oil gas prices is basically human greed
Oh,
more so
absolutely,
than
yeah,
anything else?
yeah,
Okay. It's an
absolutely,
opportunity for these guys to benefit.
yeah. They'll take any opportunity to raise the price of whatever,
Hmm.
but it's up to the consumer to, you know, uh, change that.
How so?
But there's some people that they don't take don't take unnecessary trips, right? I've known people, most of them are younger. They don't consolidate their trip, whatever it is. They don't, they'll jump in the car just to go. Oh, I forgot to pick up a envelope or whatever, right? But and they'll go 3 or 4 times a day just to go somewhere, right?
Hmm.
Instead of just going one time, do their little running around and come back.
Hmm.
They'll go, come back, go, come back, go. They think that's just perfectly fine because there's a, never ending well of, fuel, gas, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a lady when they announced that the gas went up 43 cents in Atlanta. She was like, I don't fill my car up anymore. She said, I just put a half a tank this time. Now, I
That
was
I can
kind of,
understand why you would do that.
I
See,
understand that too, but you got to drive less, unless you're
mhm,
expecting the gas to go down like in a couple of days. It's not going to help.
yeah,
You just got to drive less. You got to walk more, you know?
yeah,
Now if you have spent $100 on a tank of gas and it goes down, yeah, you lose. But if this thing gonna perpetuate,
yeah.
then you just the only cure is to drive less, like you're saying. Drive,
Yeah, it really
stop
is
taking
just
unnecessary trips.
yeah, just consume less of that product. you know,
Hmm.
but they'll go, oh, got to go get my breakfast. They'll run to McFaddy's or whatever, get their sausage,
Walk.
biscuits, and whatever. And then,
Yeah. You,
oh, somewhere in there, oh, I need to drop a package off to be mailed or whatever shit. And, instead of doing that all in the same, consolidating their trips is probably a better plan. You know?
yeah, true. We probably need to get used to that. But all right, if the oil people, the oil guys, this thing have a cascade effect, right?
Well,
Meaning
let's just call it what they are. The oral cartel. That's what they
the
are.
oil cartel,
Yeah.
the Earl
Yeah.
cartel.
The Earl cartel. Yeah.
So okay. Now it's gonna affect the bread cartel
Oh,
and
sure.
the cookie
Every, yeah.
cartel and the
Yeah.
food cartel. Because
Yeah.
now it costs more for them to get their product.
Well, what you raise just an increase in any cost, whether it be labor, uh, oil,
Hmm.
steel, whatever. All the plastics that we enjoy, every day are dependent on, they're highly dependent on oil, right, to produce
Hmm.
these things. So those costs they're directly pushed onto the consumer.
Amen.
Yeah.
So that 4%, now there is some science behind these prices going up, right? Hey,
Hmm.
there's less supply, so there's more demand somewhere.
But if you
So,
but if the American people would do their due diligence, they have the power to control a lot of these things. Huh, I guess I just won't buy those eggs that are $4 a dozen. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm having pancakes, whatever. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Nobody
You
cooks
just
nobody cooks really anymore. There's very, very few of this generation that's that actually cook, right? When I say that, they may prepare something from a box, or they'll DoorDash it or Uber it or Uber Eats or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done that. I've done it myself, right?
doesn't it make you a doer? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Just because you've done something one time,
no. But I can't. You
habitually,
can't sit
for the
there and
most part, you
complain
cook.
about it if you've and partaken in it. But I'm
There's nothing
I
wrong
ain't
with a
gonna.
little pleasure, having somebody bring you some food.
No,
I mean,
I've never done that though. I've never had someone bring me my food. That unless it's at a restaurant.
okay, I got it. But even that, let's just put that in the same box. It's nothing wrong with going out every once in a while, but for you habitual dudes, and I sound like a hypocrite, but
What'd you bring for lunch today, bud?
I was at Burger King. I mean, I'm under a lot of stress. Okay, all right, here we go. We got a lot of stress going on. I don't feel like making my goddamn food. I'm
You need
learning
to.
new stuff at the job, and it's all the pressure of,
I got
you
other
know,
things to worry about than packing lunch when I can just go jump in
yeah,
my vehicle and
yep.
go get something to eat.
Go get some food.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
easiest button I know. But yeah, so that's I get it. It's basically like you said, it's human greed,
yeah,
and we are in a capitalistic society.
yeah.
Capitalize.
Hmm.
That's the thing. We capitalize, and I ain't talking about making a big H on a big UK,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we capitalize on situation. You know what I'm saying? We're
yeah.
capitalists. That's what we do.
Right. And there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. But as a consumer myself,
Yes.
I can
Hmm.
control. And if everybody would just practice a little restraint in their habits and spending, that you can control that better. And I guess it's just be mindful is like they're not going to take advantage of you if you don't demand their product, right? the old supply and demand that most of us, I don't know if they even teach that in school anymore. They're more worried about social issues and teaching people about social issues and then how to balance a checkbook or, how, things that we really rely on to live. You know, we had a
Yeah.
home ec. You remember, you went to home. I know you had home ec classes.
Yeah, we had home ec. Hmm. We had
And I was
shop.
thinking, they don't even have those things in school no more.
Primitive, bro.
Yeah,
To know how
apparently.
to. Well, I'm going to teach you how to create fire from flint and rock. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I
Now,
know
there's
how to
going to
do
come a
that.
day you might need that. You might need to, you
We
got to
shouldn't.
identify with flint.
I mean, the biggest thing is that people have the power to control these things,
That's a
and
good point. Excellent
they
point.
they just don't, right? They see that this is a government needs to fix it for them, and the government is not the all see all be all. They're not God, right?
They're not God.
They are
You're
not.
right. They're not God, but they're God-like.
Sure,
They have some God
give
qualities.
unto Caesar which is Caesar's. I got that right.
Right, right, right.
That's in the
Mhm.
Bible, as you
It's
know.
in the Bible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
It's
I
in
got
there.
that. And we all want to live in a society that's educated. And I think that, I don't want to, everybody blames the teachers, right? That people aren't, that their kids aren't getting educated. Well, education is based out of the home, right? If you're not involved as a parent with your child's education, then, you're leaving it up to somebody that, I don't know, has pink hair. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, and a lot of parents don't even know what level of involvement. Okay, my involvement is putting some clothes on your back and sending you out the door.
Mm,
That's it. I'm done. I've done my job. I sent you to school. It's your job to learn and his job to teach you.
to
When
teach
I'm
you,
done,
right?
yeah, teach you.
Yeah. And
A lot of parents don't, when the kids come home, well, let's look at your homework. Let's do this, let's do that. Show me
yeah,
how
what
to
do you,
run
yeah, what be involved
the
with your kids, right? Um,
Mhm.
uh, I think that there's that saying, it says trust but verify, right?
Trust but verify. That's right. I did
You
my
know,
homework, honey. Did
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Why is why is the school calling me, telling me you didn't do
Well, the dog ate it.
it? See, back in our day, we could get away with that, because they didn't have the technology.
Yeah, they
And the
didn't
only
have.
time my mom found out I wasn't doing my homework was when she went to the PTA meeting.
Hmm.
Mrs. Sharp, or she sent a letter home and said, you have your mom sign this. And I was pretty good at signing my mom's signature. You know what I'm saying? I had mastered that darn thing. Mom would never see this. You know what I'm saying? I would have this fixed by the time the report card come out. Now my mom didn't keep
Oh,
up with the report cards. You know what I'm saying? That darn C I got will be up to at least a B or A,
mm.
by the time the report card come out. You know. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
absolutely. And
Mhm.
that's not to beat a dead horses. You know, the
Mhm.
you take care of your own backyard, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's your responsibility to make sure your kids or your offspring, whatever, are ready for life, man.
Mhm.
You don't just kick them out the door once they graduate.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you've taken steps. You've told me you've been involved. She's with your uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been
child's
involved with it.
education, right? Say, hey, this ain't gonna fly in my house. You're gonna study. You're gonna do this or whatever, or you're
Mhm.
not gonna have these privileges or what have you. That's at least being an active in what they're doing or not doing in school, right?
If you just happen to be a young parent out there listening to these old men talk, if you have any aspirations for your kids getting further education in the public school system, you need to start from day one, teaching your
Yeah.
child, showing them the importance of school and education and stuff like that. And maybe even use yourself as an example. I'm saying? I could have been this, but I'm this. But I'm going to make sure that you don't fall in the same pitfalls that I fell into. So get smart on your kids' education and the
Oh
importance.
yeah,
It's very
absolutely.
competitive out there, you know?
It is.
It's
And then
competitive at the job,
but you can do
No work.
everything right, and once they're you, you can do everything right. You think everything right, do blah blah blah, and then your children do things that you know, them many have fallen from grace, if you will.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's always out there. That's the beautiful thing about choice and the worst
Mhm.
thing about choice. The kids
Mhm.
have a choice. I hate school. You always pushed it down my throat. I just want to do something else. I'm tired. There's always that risk. But at least you'll feel better about yourself. You
That
tried.
I'm raising my hand, going, that was me, right?
Right.
Luckily my mom, my parents, I should say, were like,
Hmm.
"You're gonna do like your sister. You join the military, and you're gonna go." And I needed that in my life, man. They taught me a lot of teamwork, camaraderie, discipline. You know, at the time, I didn't think folding my underwear in 6-inch squares had was going to teach me anything, right? But it becomes a habit. I still fold my underwear similar. They ain't exactly 6 inches, but I still fold
Seven
them the
and a
same,
half.
right? Or whatever. They're not. But I still
Hey,
my it gave me the tools on how to keep my life more in order, right? And it's the
hey,
little things. It's the little things that matter, in my opinion. But
in the picture that I saw of you when you was in basic, your underwear probably was 4 inch square.
it was perfect.
You was probably 4. You was skinny as a rake, man. I saw that damn picture in your house.
And
There's
that
no way
pitch,
he got 6 inches out of them
I
underwear.
was 180 pounds in that picture.
Wow, I never would have guessed that. I
Yeah.
was like, this dude just got away from some Ethiopian there in prison or something.
No, I was 100. I had like very low body fat percentage, right?
Yeah, you was just slim, man. I was like, dang, look at me. But yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, and
education.
I looked like a boy, right, wearing his dad's uniform or something.
Quite slim, man. Quite
Well,
slim.
they didn't really fit the uniform. You
Nah,
know, it was close. It's
yeah,
like
they
here's
only have
they
four sizes.
knew as I got older that I would put on weight. And I could wear that uniform a long time before it didn't fit no more, right?
Yeah. They
So,
had like extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I was always the medium guy. Medium.
it's
I'm a
medium.
medium. Yes,
Yeah,
medium.
I was too.
Hmm.
I was in the medium large area, because I was fairly
Hmm.
tall.
Yeah.
I was like 6 foot,
They
5'11",
didn't
six
tailor
foot.
a darn thing, bro.
No,
You
nothing was
looked how
tailored.
you looked.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny.
and it really, I guess the moral of the story of to move on because we have like less than 10 minutes left in our
Hmm.
timer here. It really is up to the parents, right?
Hmm.
And you've struggled with this because you and your um, daughter's mother never lived together,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
you had unique struggles raising your daughter that I did not be in a
Unique is
sense.
good.
The military had me away from my family on several occasions, and my wife took,
Hmm.
she was both doing both roles, dual role,
Hmm.
just because the military had taken me away from my family, right?
Hmm.
But you guys, her entire life never lived together. Correct me
Right.
if I'm
That's
wrong,
true.
but the last
Hmm.
couple years, you've had her 100%, right?
Hmm.
And it really, you were like, something's got to change, get her
Hmm.
on, get on a more stable path.
Yeah, regiment, platform,
It made a big
stable. Yeah.
difference. I mean, you can talk about this or not if you want, but have you seen a difference, right?
Definitely. She's seen a difference. She's like, she told me after about a year, she says, I see elevation in my life. I'm going to school. I'm driving. I have a job. I have a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
stuff she never would have,
Probably
well,
never, yeah.
probably never would have experienced or whatever. You know
But
what I'm
you
saying?
did. I mean, you have given her that stability and in my opinion, not the most crucial, but very crucial points in adolescence, right? Growing up, give that foundation. This is what can happen through hard work and dedication, and not just living willy nilly, right? There's been bumps along the way, but that's with every young teenage.
Mhm. That's just a teenage experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna. Hopefully, she'll learn from those bumps, if you you know, in her own life, and you've shown her that you too can live, a better life.
Yeah. And there's things you got to do. And culture, and I know culture is big, and it's unfortunate that they don't air all cultures in America. You know what I'm saying? Usually when we say culture, it comes to mind maybe minorities or whatever, but whatever culture you create for your child, hey man, it's ingrained. Your culture
Hmm.
is ingrained, whether it's good or bad. Your culture is ingrained, and it's gonna take moving heaven and earth, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, to change something that's been deeply embedded, a thought process, a mindset, whatever, to change that culture. It's a lot of work,
Well, I
you
mean,
know?
there's a ton of um, life stories where people have succeeded when they got away from certain situations, right? That were
Right.
just
Yeah. Hmm.
they did a movie on it. One of my favorite movies, man. Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, Dan
That's perfect.
Aykroyd.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Because he
Um,
was a two-bit hustler on the street trying to get money for being a cripple that he
yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah. But it's just and that's just a movie that showed that you can have these opportunities if you get yourself in a better place, right? A lot of people struggle with that aspect of getting out of the. How many people did you ever have you known in the military said, I'm getting out, I'm going back home?
Many, a lot that
Many,
said that.
many, many.
Hmm.
And then I've known many people that regretted that decision. I don't that that I managed to keep in touch with. They were like, man, I'd be I if I would have stayed in, I'd be retired by now, you know. Um, have an education, whatever, right? And there's some that
Hmm.
have succeeded that made that decision, but the military
Yeah.
was just a stop off place for them, really.
Right.
The
Hmm.
ones that I know that have done well,
Hmm.
um,
It's
you,
not a bad place. I mean, you got upward projections, you know what I'm saying? It's a good culture to be in the military. And then back to your Trading Place movie, you and Kyle did an excellent job on changing that guy's life. If you know where I'm going.
I just need to know which one it was. I Mortimer or well, I can
I
never
can't
remember
I
the other
never
guy.
could figure out which one you were.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's the one that woke up and said, "We're back." Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Because when they
trade,
made that movie,
trade,
when they made that
sell,
movie Coming to
sell.
America,
Yeah.
them boys went under, right? But when they made that movie Coming to America, he put those guys in the movie. They was sleeping on a bridge on top of a bridge, and he like dropped $1 million off on them, because it
Yeah.
was bombs. And he was like, he woke up and saw that money. He was like, we're back, Mortimer.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mm,
that's a good movie, man. That's a really good movie. Awesome.
yeah.
Whoever thought of that was good. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But you
like you
know
said,
what?
that's an
The
excellent
thing is
depiction
that
of.
you wouldn't know it if you hadn't watched, Trading Places. You wouldn't know nothing about
I adjure you, the listening audience, hey, Go watch Trading Places, and that's
Hmm.
kind of good culture awareness sense that we're talking about.
Yeah,
So go
yeah.
watch it. It's a good movie. Made back
And
in
it
the, I
was,
think the 90s, maybe.
well, that's the thing, easy come, easy go, right? Um, the guy that was doing well, he was living this snobbish life, and it was taken from him, and how quickly he
Mhm.
digressed, into criminal,
It's a
as he
really
alluded.
good learning moment, man, that you could be here and next thing you know, you're sleeping with whores.
Yeah,
Forgive me for saying that. But
yeah.
and he on drugs. He been arrested. He been arrested. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff was going on, man. So
Well, just, and then the one thing is who he thought really were his friends were not his friends,
right,
and
right.
the the ones that he would perceive the person. There's so this movie is so deep in what you perceived. The whore, as you called her, was the one that gave him a place to sleep, and you know what I mean. She was probably the most human
Yeah, the
person
most
in his.
moral.
Hmm.
He's the
Yeah,
most human of them all. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
And
even
that's
the
the
boss.
thing, right? Don't, those you think that are your friends, you have to rely on one person, and that's yourself and God,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
God
yeah.
will guide
We
you
can
in the
all,
right direction. Jesus, if you haven't found out who they found them, I highly encourage you to.
yeah, do that. Man, that's where it starts, in my opinion. I told one of my friends, I told
Mhm.
him the other day, I said, look, man, I know you're on hard times. And I says, in a hard time, you need to know you got a friend, and I'm that. I said, so if you ever need something, money or whatever, I'll do what I can. I said, you need to know that there's somebody on this planet that
Mhm.
will help you in your time of need. And I'm that guy.
But you
You know
can't
what
be
I'm saying?
going to your dealer thinking he's going to help you.
He ain't there to help you.
He
The
ain't
dealer's
going to
not.
help you.
What if he's any kind of dealer, he's not
Yeah,
your friend.
he
You know what
is
I'm
not
saying? If
your
he's a
friend.
car dealer, a
Yeah.
house dealer, he's out here dealing for himself.
But on that
So
note, On that
yes.
note, we're out of time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great week and daylight savings nightmare. God
Yeah.
bless.
God bless you guys, man. I actually enjoy doing this with you, Wayne.
As we say, man. Take care, everyone.
All right.